What's going on, y'all? In this video, we're going to talk about how to find your purpose using the elements. So right here, we have the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and spirit. These are the 5 elements of this earth reality. Now, of course, as you see under each one, you have a subtitle, then you have little descriptions, little vocations, things that you can do. Things that if you are this type of person, you can do one of these, just to simplify and make it a little easier for you. But I want to make one thing clear. In CTRLville, we strive to encompass and embody all 5. Spirit, fire, the warrior element; air, the magician, your intellect, your thinking; lover and the water, your sensual, your feeling, your care; and then the earth, your king, your dominance, your leadership. A little bit of pretext before we get into each category. Of course, you got up here spirit. This is the Godhead. This is you, the awareness within the body. The physical world below is simply the 3rd dimension. It simply encapsulates these 4 elements of fire, air, earth, and water. That is what makes up the 3-dimensional reality. But you, my friend, are the spirit encapsulated inside of the body. And all of these are, of course, going on inside of your body. And then you have the same reflection in the outer terrain called Earth, this game of life. So I want to make that very clear. You are God. This is God. This is the spirit. This is the highest level, the highest manifestation. Everything starts up here in the astral realm, in the spiritual world, and then it trickles on down into our small, finite microcosm realm of cause and effect, physical 3D earth element reality. So with that being said, last caveat before we get into it: in order to become the king/queen of your reality, you must encompass these 3 first. So don't even think about being the king/queen until you have mastered your magician, your warrior, and your lover to a certain degree. Want to make that clear, and I'll explain why. It's because, of course, this is the experienced, this is the leader, this is the wise. Of course, down here, structure, provider, builder, financial, leadership. All of those things is needed, but you have to be a warrior first. You absolutely must go through the fire. You absolutely must survive and have some battle scars, have some experience, some wisdom. Your air, your magician, your intellect, you absolutely must be diplomatic. You must be able to control your emotions. You must be able to intelligently communicate and reason with others and not just succumb to violent, coercive, chaotic, harmful, motherfucking aggressive tendencies onto other people. That warrior shit. And at the same time, you must master your lover inside of you. You must master that care, that nurturing, that empathy, that part of you that, is going to be the nurturer that someone looks to when they need comfort, when they need safety. So yes, again, we're going to focus on encapsulating and embodying all 3 from an emotional and spiritual and archetypal level, or all 5 truly. But you must have these 3 first in order to achieve this. But if you have this, you always have this. You need none of these. I had a quote before I started the video, but the king needs all 3, the God needs none. So that's a little paradox to start off. To be the God, to understand that you are God, to be the real superpower spiritual leader of your own reality, in control of your own life and destiny, you must understand that you are the God, you are the spirit, and none of this shit matters, because you will always be this. You will always be consciousness. You will always be awareness. When the body fails, when life ceases to go on, you will always be that awareness. Guys, finding your purpose in this world is absolutely detrimental, super important, super serious business, because you will be running around chasing things that you did not choose to chase, trying to be things that you did not sign up to be, led in different directions that is just not yours. So with that being said, I ultimately want to offer y'all this. You don't have to be a king or queen. You don't have to strive for no fucking physical dominance, leadership, no fucking being an alpha, being a woman of power, being some masculine man, alpha, dominant leader, king. You don't have to be none of that shit. I promote it and I'm on the path to being that, but in all honesty, it is you taking on a lot of responsibility and accountability and just human attachments that you may be better off spiritually and emotionally without. So with that being said, let's start with the water element, the all-encompassing force and flow of life, water. So of course, activism, we can start there. Nature, people that care for society, people that care for kids, meaning social programs, social workers, animals as well, people that sign up and work for PETA, natural conservative environmentalists, things like that. That's activism. At the same time, it could be protesting and standing up for a cause. Another thing that you'll see throughout this video is that a lot of these elements and descriptions intermingle. And activism is one that greatly intermingles with air and king because it's the care. It's that part of you that cares enough to try to help another person. All right. And then as well, I cannot read this backwards quite, but if we zoom in, number 2 on the water element archetype and potential vocations for you to go down, the sensual, the intimate, the physical, really the sacral chakra, the part of you that, or for those of y'all that are very into modeling, sex work, using your body as the thing, or you're just in love with the body, you're in love with pleasure, you're in love with the feeling, you're in love with the sensation, and that's how you want to express your divinity, express your light, express your energy. That's all good, male or female, whatever you are, whatever you're into, rather it's modeling, photography, sex work, this work, OnlyFans, stripping, male stripping, whatever it is that you choose to do, if that's what you into, go for it. Express yourself in that light. Of course, there's pros and cons that come with every single path that you can follow and go down. I'm not even going to list the pros and the cons. I just want to help y'all find your path and purpose. And number 3 on the list that I already have remembered is culinary. Y'all that like to cook. Y'all that like to chef it up in the kitchen. Y'all that really enjoy the taste and the seasonings on some food. Monetize that. Express and share and show that side of you with the world. That is a very good vocation and career path to go down. You could be a master chef. You could just cook and whip it up good for your family and friends. And if you get joy out of that, all fucking good. All great, all gravy. Number 4, medical. The medical profession. Those of y'all that, again, like to care for others, with whether it's animals, veterinarian, hospital, doctor, nurse, retirement home, a developmentally delayed kids school, anything like that, medical assistance, helping people, that's a great field to be in. You're a healer. You love, you care, and that's okay. You can make a lot of money, or at least a very comfortable living. You can really make a lot of money in all of these purposes, paths, vocations, careers that you could go down, but you could also make a very small and modest amount of money, a medium amount of money. This is not a financial video, and I don't even want to give my financial opinions and thoughts, but yeah, that's up for you to navigate. But ultimately, I'm trying to help you find your purpose, because again, what is the point of having purpose? What is the reason that purpose is good, positive, and beneficial? Purpose is good because you will not lack. It gives you hope. It gives you something to do. It gives you something to have pride in. It gives you something to get up and a reason to get up and do something different. A reason to get up and go improve. A reason to get up out of bed rather than chasing a person or trying to control another person or trying to fall in love and have babies and all of these things. All of the shit in life that really just gets you super deep into attachment and hard, crazy emotions. When you fall in love with your purpose, when you fall in love with the vocation, that shit will cure you and have you mentally always good and healed. That is the reason, that is the purpose, that is the point of finding your purpose. So again, continuing on with the water, fine arts, painting, tattooing, sketching, creating, sculpting, All of these things that you could just get in a nice blissful zone, flow state. And again, a lot of cash to be made in this field of fine arts. It's essentially revolving the beauty and the aesthetic and the visual presentation of things, the fine arts. It's sensual, it's of the sacral chakra, and it's the reason I put this over here, fine arts, and separate it with music over here. And with that being said, let's move on to the element of air. Music, a musician, using your voice, using the fucking wind instrument. Of course, air is the element. Air is associated with the fifth chakra. All of these elements, all of these passions, purposes, paths to go down are also associated with a chakra. So again, life is just correspondence. Life is just as above, so below. Life is just synchronicity all around everywhere you go. So the musician, the artist, again, I could also tell y'all that all of this is art. But primarily, art is going to be involved in the air, the magician path, and then the water path. Music, the love of music, using your voice, vocalizing, expression. Next to that, technology, computers, electronics, science, and that sort. Things that you can do. IT, a lot of money to be made. Electricians, computer techs, all of those type of things. Software, hardware, gaming, coding. What's the other thing? Troubleshooting, IT. Get into it. Technology, if you are a thinker, if you are of the air quality, if you are that type of magician. Then, of course, communication in itself. Politics. Make a YouTube channel. Start talking your shit. Start expressing. Start sharing. Start communicating your thoughts and ideas. Go to a city hall meeting. Figure out how to be an advocate and a part in person within your community if you choose to communicate. If you choose to speak your mind. The air quality, the vocal. Yeah, communication is a big one. That's why it's the first one. And then up under that, you got sales and entrepreneurship. Anything that involves you having to make a sale, you having to promote something, you having to market something, you having to get out in this world of cash, buy, sell, and trade. And then you get out here and make $1 because you're a good salesman, a good entrepreneur, using your vocals, using your reasoning, using your voice, all of those things. So if you're already good at it, if you already kind of got the gift of gab, then that may be the path for you. Sales, entrepreneurship, developing a product, things of that nature. And number 5 was scholarship. Of course, studying, books, learning, the occult, natural law, esoteric and religious studies, all of the books, the philosophies, scholarship, language, all of these things is good for you if you are a thinker. If you need a path to pursue and something to go down, bing, bam, boom. Me, I definitely fall more into the musician, scholar, communication, air, magician. But like I said, on the path to embody and encompass all 3, and that's what we're here to do. Simple as that. But again, never deny the education field, scholarship, things like that, because that is also very fulfilling. Reading a book can be a lot more fulfilling than going to the gym. Now, you got to read at least 30 pages, but that'll be a fucking workout for your brain. That's simple. And speaking of going to the gym, the warrior spirit, fitness, fighters, athletes, those that are always involved with the body in a hardcore way. Not the soft, sensual way of the water element, but a hard, forceful, go, grunt, boom, sports. Evildoers. Evildoers are warriors. If you out here robbing, killing, stealing, and fucking with people and planting negative seeds in the world, you are at war at all times. You are a warrior. And y'all got to be aware of the evildoers, of the fucking people that are out here planting negative seeds of depression, deception, violence, and chaos, all negative things for you to fall into and fall into a trap and about to fight or get your shit stolen or get killed because you fucking around with an evildoer that is falling under the fiery warrior spirit. Then you got the military. Stand and fight for your country. Go enlist, CIA, government, you could really categorize that under this as well. So again, military, police officers, a call of duty. If you want to get into that in this reality, in your reality, if you want to be a person that goes and fights and defend your nation, sign up. 18 years old, military, hardcore, strong, young man, whatever you want to fucking do. And then last on the list, laborers and fighters. Of course, you got MMA, mixed martial arts, boxing, taekwondo, all of those type of things, martial arts. Fighting, it's an art. It's the art of the martial. And then you have, what the fuck was it? Oh, laborer, general labor, signing up for a job on Indeed, construction workers. All of that is kind of under the warrior spirit, but also under the earth and builder spirit as well. But like I said, leading to the earth element, you must encapsulate and embody all three if you want to ever be a full-on king and queen. Now, you can be a builder, a provider, but if you a provider without no warrior, you damn sure ain't a king. Sorry to say, but a king is a hierarchy level. It's something that you really have to embody and have a lot of wisdom, stripes earned to get to that king level. Of course, your finances, big when it comes to being a king or queen, because you need to provide. And that's just the name of the game in this current timeline is money, cash, expenditure, spending, saving, all of the things that we do in this world because we live in this controlled society. Again, you don't need no kingly, material, possessive, warrior, none of this shit to be a god, to really be the God spiritual in control of your reality. Understand that first and foremost, and you're always good. You can always shift and alchemize your thoughts and your emotions at any given second, or just detach and spiritually bypass all of this crazy physical life shit. But understand one thing, if you choose to be a king, if you want to be a king or a queen, I'm not saying you can't call yourself that shit. Keep calling yourself that and let it manifest. Because then you're just going to be mad when your reality looks like a reality not of a king. But when you're on a God frequency, you just don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Of course, like I said, embodying all three is the goal, is the pursuit of us in CTRLville. But start small. Air, fire, water. What are you best at? What are you most adept at? What is most natural to you? What out of all of these descriptions do you already enjoy doing? Maximize it. Get better at it. Get to the top of the ranks. Then worry about another level of your archetype, another level of self that you need to improve, another part of you that you need to build up. Do you need to care more? Do you need to stop being such a ruthless bastard to everybody around you? Do you need more love? Do you need more self-love? Embody it all. Maximize it all. You have a 33% chance of falling into each of these three as far as like what you're most inclined to be naturally. But then to embody the earth, king and queen frequency, full control, truly, that power, that build, that structure, that leadership, that dominance. You also got to strike some fear in people's heart. Would you rather be feared, loved, or respected? They say if you can't have all three, to be feared is best. So again, that dominant king energy, of course, you kind of got to accept that part too. I think the king/queen is the side that truly accepts the negative and the positive, the good and bad to everything. Because if you choose and strive to be a king or queen, somebody is also 9 times out of 10 striving and going to take your place. And that's just how hierarchies work in this jungle. But again, if you are focusing on these three here, the three main base elements, well, the three main archetype elements, because this is a embodiment of all of these three archetype elements. This is you independent of any element. Don't know what I was just saying, but I'm happy I said that. Yes. Don't remember what I was just saying, but we can leave it there, y'all. Hopefully this video will help you find your purpose. Hopefully this video has helped you align with your own particular path, what you need to do, what you need to become, who you need to be, what you need to start thinking. And again, help you figure out if you want to be a king or queen and take on all of that role, take on all of that responsibility, being a husband, being a wife, being a provider, being a leader, being a structure builder. It's a task. It's a tall task. And with great power comes great responsibility. and also great threats coming at you and coming at your neck. So yeah, that's the last part I was getting at, is if you polarize yourself on the magician, warrior, or lover, or even the spirit frequency, then it benefits you to just think all positive thoughts. No need to be weighing the negatives and bads and trying to be a leader, trying to be a king or a queen of your kingdom or your queendom. Because to do that, you literally have to be a good leader, you have to weigh the good and the bad to be able to manage those around you and the emotions and the things that they're going through, and to individually help and care and consider other people. But when you just play your role as a magician, as a warrior, or as a lover, then all you do is play your role and live good and find your peace, joy, and happiness within that role. Not trying to step too far outside the box, not trying to teeter and do this and do that. Simple. And with that being said, I love y'all. May you never relax your principles and stay godlike.